Hey everyone, it is July 20th, a Tuesday here in the market, 2021. I took 3 trades today, 2 on QQQ and 1 on Disney. So let's go ahead and get right into the trades. So the first trade I took was on QQQ, and let's just get to the higher time frame analysis. So as you can see, NQ has been rallying a lot, and then it actually has been selling off the past couple of days. And I really like this lower wick rejection here of this important key level down here of this 14,500 level. And I actually bought a call down here just as kind of like a lotto call, and so far it's paying pretty nicely. I'm going to hold to all-time highs and just see where we can go from there. But anyway, let's get into the trades. So I liked this 4-hour demand zone here. We created 4-hour demand yesterday, and I was really hoping to see some buying down here. This is kind of where we found our bottom. We bounced at this 90-minute use demand, and we also created 4-hour demand yesterday. So that is where my trade was going to take place. So let's get into a lower time frame analysis. I really like this 4-hour zone, and let's get right into it. I just marked up these zones, so just ignore this top 3 and 4-hour zone here. Just pay attention to the bottom 4-hour zone here. Okay, so my first trade, I pulled the trigger at 9:42 a.m. So as you can see here on a 1-minute chart, I have on my right side, it was right on this candle, so I'll get an arrow here, just so it's a little bit clearer to see. Right as we started pulling up here, so it was almost at the beginning of this candle here, right there. And what did I see here? Well, I'd like to enter on the 5-minute chart, but do have to admit I've been a little bit more inclined to enter on the 1-minute chart, just because I don't really see a clear entry on the 5-minute chart here rather than the 1-minute chart. As you can see here, the 5-minute chart kind of took off without us, which is what I have been noticing a lot in this market. So I took a look at the 1-minute and really tried to pinpoint an exact entry, a tight risk and reward, and just go from there. Looking at this 1-minute chart here, if I zoom in just a little bit, I entered right here on this 9:42 candle. And my target was going to be this sort of 565 area, but ultimately this 590 area, this 5-minute supply, 1-minute supply area, you name it, it was ultimately 585, this 5-minute supply, which was the final target. So, and the stop loss was going to be below this 941 candle. So I knew if I was wrong, I probably would have been stopped out, which I actually was stopped out for a very, very minute loss. I think it was about like a 1 to 2% loss, which is extremely nice on my part. I did get kind of faked out here. It was literally a stop loss hunt. There's not really much I can do here. I really just stuck to my plan as soon as it got triggered here. You can kind of see that this was a huge red candle at the time of when I got stopped out. So I really had no um, there's not really any reason for me not to believe that this thing was going to tank to low of day, which was certainly possible. That would have been the more obvious stop to put it below the 940 candle. However, I like to keep my stop losses tight just because I like to be wrong faster and kind of just accept it. And like Carmine always preaches, the best moves are going to happen right away. So with that being said, I got in at 9:42 and I stopped out on this next candle, which was really unfortunate because I stopped out by a tick, which is, again, really unfortunate. Could have saved a 1% loss, but nonetheless, not a big deal. The most important thing that I learned, or that I'm really proud of in this lesson, or in this trade, was I looked for the next best entry. As soon as I saw this 1-minute candle close, I saw that we had buying pressure. We had a slight increase in volume. This long wick was super nice, and I really liked it. So I went ahead and on the 9:44 candle, as we're pushing up, I entered right around here. I thought we were going to get this nice 1-minute RB&R with this lower wick. We did not, but nonetheless, we did create a higher low inside this 4-hour demand zone, which I really liked. And on top of that, we also created a 5-minute sort of drop base rally, which I'll get into in just a minute. So again, I stopped out. I entered at this blue arrow, stopped out here. this red candle, and then I got in again here. There you go. Okay, and then my target again was the same target here at 590, or excuse me, this 585 area, which was a 5-minute supply zone. And it started working out right away. Oh, and I should mention that my stop loss was again below this 530 area, just because that has been shown as sort of intraday support and resistance here. It's been tapped twice, resistance once. But anyway, yeah. So it started working out right away, and my first target was kind of here. I wanted to see how it was going to react, and I saw that, okay, maybe I should get a little worried, but I switched over to a 5-minute chart, and noticed that there was really no reason to sell. So I said, okay, I'm holding to my initial target, which was this 585 supply zone, this 5-minute supply zone here. And what happened was we kind of sold off on the next candle, and I sold myself that my stop loss was going to be moved to the top of this 935 candle, which is what happened because that was sort of another intraday support and resistance level. So I stopped out for a small profit at, the timestamp says 9:51. So 9:51 was right here, which, ideally we want to be selling into strength. However, I chose to stop out here because my target, I was really holding on for the target to this 585 area, but we never got to it before I stopped out. And I said, you know what, because I have a small account, I'd like to protect myself, I'd like to get my profits. And who knows, this thing could have easily reversed all the way back down to my entry, and I would have actually been red on the day. But I exited for a small profit. Unfortunate, but nonetheless a very nicely managed trade on my end. And we actually managed to hit that 585 target. We missed it on the first try by about 3.5 points, which was super unfortunate. Again, it would have had a much nicer profit, but we dipped a little bit, pulled back, and we then touched it on the next leg up. But I got out right around here. So a nice small profit, small win, nothing too crazy. Pretty upset, but that's just how trading goes. Otherwise, I know the money's going to come. I'm just super happy with how I managed this trade and how the trade worked out. I thought I did a very nice job managing the trade here and sticking to my plan and really protecting my profit, just because this market has been crazy and things have been going up and down for a while. All right, so those were the QQQ trades. Let's head over to the Disney trade. Okay, so I can maximize this Disney sell here. So I actually had Disney down to, I had Disney in my pre-market plan to the downside here. But as I was flipping through my charts, I said, you know what? Disney has a gap to fill, and we had a 30-minute RBNR forming here. So the timestamp that I got in was at 10:44 a.m. And I took it just as we were about to break this. And so now you can see that that's where I got my idea from. I saw that we were kind of rally basing, and I wanted to get in for the rally. So let's go down to a 5-minute chart just to get a cleaner look at it. So I also saw that Disney was holding this trend here, and we were kind of creating some kind of wedge here right around this 175 area. And I said, okay. And again, I've been using the 1-minute time frame to really pinpoint my entries even further. I understand that it can create a lot of fake outs, the 1-minute chart that is, but if you're getting comfortable with it like I am, I really enjoy it actually, just because it really helps me pinpoint my entries. Okay, so I'll show you where I entered with my arrow here. So you can kind of see that we had this ascending wedge here, a triangle looking pattern. We double topped here a little bit, but creating higher lows, super bullish. We had a gap to fill right above this 175 area. So I got in at this 10:44 candle, which was right here. And I got in right as we were breaking the 30-minute RBNR, this high of day kind of break. I wanted to get in before the high of day spike, which is kind of what I was trying for, which is kind of what happened, I think. Let me just rush over here real quick. Oops, did I go a day too far? I did. Yeah, so I tried to get in right before the high of daybreak. I kind of didn't. But no big deal. What I did like to see was this momentum here, this VVM here. We had volume increasing a little bit on this 1040 candle. It started to pick up on this 1045 candle. So again, I would have liked this thing to rally a bit more than it did. As you can see, it was more of a slow grind up, and we're continuing this slow grind up on Disney. I got out I actually entered a couple contracts here. So I scaled my first one just to protect myself at 1052, which was right here. So I moved my stop loss up, and it was almost break even. So I got out right around here, and then I got out my other one right after that, a little bit later here again. So I actually, pretty much got out right at the same spot for, all of my contracts here. My target was 175.5, and my stop loss was going to be below my, I think it was 175, which, I guess I should have held 175 because we never closed below 175, but at the same time, I didn't really like how we weren't, I didn't like how we were barely moving up. We were kind of this slow grind. If I switch back to a 5-minute chart, you can kind of see that we were in this slow grind here the whole day. The whole day, nothing too crazy. It was really nothing. We kind of picked up momentum here and here, but again, nothing too crazy. I really would have liked this this move that you see over here at 1140 to happen over here. I thought we were gonna, once we broke above this rally-based rally, I thought we were really gonna take off to 176 area, which would have been a nice payday. Unfortunately, it's not what happened. We easily could have reversed here, like it was showing at 1110, and premiums were kind of just chopping around here. So nonetheless, super happy with how I traded these. The process is there, the improvement is there, and again, we had this rocket ship technique, which was another thing that was going for me at the time, so I really liked that. We just didn't get the follow through that I hoped. Volume increased here a little bit, and we couldn't really move higher, so that's why I kind of took profits there. But nonetheless, these trades I was super happy with. Can't complain about how these trades worked. But I do know that I have things to work on, which I'm happy about, and I'm super glad to see the improvement. I really don't care about the money because I know that will come. It's more of just the profits and recognizing the emotion, the process, excuse me, and recognizing the emotion. All right, well, thank you guys so much for watching.